Have you ever heard the saying, it's not what you say, it's how you say it? Have you also ever heard the saying, it doesn't really matter what you say, it's how people take away from it? These are key things when you're talking about being magnetic to clients. So do words matter? Of course they do. But do they matter about how you say them, what the intention is behind them, how they land with people? Yeah, it really does. And this is what's going to make the difference between you standing out from the crowd or sounding exactly like everybody else. Welcome to this week's episode of Elevate Your Coaching Business. And for those of you that don't know me, I'm Joanne O'Halloran. I'm a business strategist, a mentor for coaches and service-based entrepreneurs who want to be able to grow and scale their business beyond the six figures. And we do that leveraging collaborative events. It's what I'm known for. And I'm going to go into that a little bit today. But when we're talking about being magnetic to clients, I really want you to get grounded in the fact that, yes, your words matter and the intention behind them matters more. There's key things that you really get to hone in on to be a magnet to clients, like those real dreamy, yummy, delicious clients that you love that are like such a joy to work with. They're so much fun. They, take action, they move forward, they're curious, they ask questions, they, don't show up with the expectation of things to be perfect. They're okay with things for themselves being messy, but they're moving forward, right? They're in forward momentum to be able to create whatever it is that you support them with. Like, we love those dreamy clients. But like, you'll also see things online, where somebody will say a dream client is somebody that pays in full. I'm like, to me, that's not really necessarily a dream client. That's something that's conditional. But you get to be really connected with who are dream clients for you and what it really means for somebody to be a dream client, so that you can really get to know them and that you can have that magnetic pull, like, that drive and that pull to somebody. Like, think of anything you've ever been drawn towards or driven towards. It's that pull. It's that, it's nearly like, the magnet is just drawing you in and you can't help but be there. We've all felt that. Now we're going to turn it, because you get to be that for your clients. You get to be that draw that pulls them into you. And there's key things that you get to do. So we're going to go through that today. So as always, get a pen and get a piece of paper. Make sure that you're following me so that you can get all these juicy tips and that you can come back and watch them whenever you want. So to be a magnet, let's talk about the very first thing. It actually is about who you be. So you may have heard this, like that, your mindset, how you show up and things is a big chunk of the work. And in my experience, it comes down to 100% of who you're being, because the thoughts that happen up here really impact how things come out of your mouth. So what I mean by that is the words may come out in exactly how you intend them to, but you can always sense if somebody is off. So like, have you ever been on a phone call with somebody and they ring you and they're chatting away and they're asking you questions, but you just know there's another agenda, like this chit chat that you're on the phone with, that's not really what they've called you for. They've called you for something else and you just feel it. So that's what I mean by, who you be really matters. And that's not just about the words, right? That's a really good example of it, because we've all been there. We all felt that, like, that hidden agenda, right? So when you think about being a magnet to your clients, it really matters about who you be. So with what you're sharing, do you believe it? Do you have conviction in what you're saying? Are you being honest? Are you being real? Are you being raw? Are you saying things that you think, like, from a vulnerability point of view, from an authenticity point of view, and are you really sharing them, or are you holding back? Because people always know when you're holding back. Like, when you look at people that sound the exact same online, why is that? Because there's no authenticity behind them. There's no realness about what, how they feel, how the impact it's had for them and their lives. And you can feel that there's like a wall up. So connect with that. Who are you being? Who are you being? How are you being brave? How are you being courageous? What is your opinion on this situation? What is the opinion that you want to share? What is the message that your dreamy client gets to hear? And are you being real with how you're sharing it? So let me give you an example. Right now, so we're on the 17th of October, 2024. We are coming into the most lucrative time of the year from a sales point of view. Yes, from a mindset point of view, you can sell any time of the year. From a sales point of view, you can sell any time of the year. And there's certain times of the year that actually your sales just tend to be better, because the fluidity and flow of sales has already been ingrained from sometimes a culture point of view, but sometimes just it's a habit that's been created, right? And you've geared up to certain times of the year to be able to sell, right? So, we all look for Black Friday, Cyber Monday, the bargains coming up to Christmas. Everybody looks for them, which means that the mentality is there for people to buy. So with that being this time of the year, my opinion is if you don't have a Black Friday offer, you're missing out. That is my opinion. My opinion is also, why wouldn't you have a Black Friday offer? Why wouldn't you want to call in more people to come work with you? And it doesn't always have to be the high ticket. Now, you will also, that's my authentic self, right? Now, you'll also have people on the other hand saying that don't do that. Don't do that. Just keep focused on selling your one-to-one, or keep focused on X, Y, and Z, but don't do that. And my opinion is I think you're missing out, and I think you're being very silly if you don't. And that's me being me. That's who I'm being. I'm being my true authentic self. Because let's be honest, I freaking love a good bargain. I am that person with my daughter who are messaging each other about the Black Friday offers that come out, right? The sales that are coming out. Oh my goodness, did you see this? Leah will send me screenshots. I'll send her screenshots. I'll send links. I'll send them to my mother. I'll send them to Robert. And Robert's like, I don't even know what this is. I'm like, I don't care. It's actually a reminder for me, right? We love good bargains. I do anyway. So I know that with that being my mentality, that also being what I speak about, what I believe in, I'm going to call in other people that do too, right? So it makes sense. So who you're being, are you being real? Are you being authentic? Are you being honest? Are you being vulnerable? Are you being brave? Are you being courageous? Or are you stonewalling? Are you holding back? Are you hiding? Are you trying to be perfect? Are you trying to get things right? Are you avoiding? Like, what is it that you're being? Because it matters. For you to pull in your dream client matters. The one thing clients love about me is how I don't just talk about when things go good. I talk about when things absolutely tank. When the shit hits the fan, I share that with them because I want them to know what it looks like. Because business isn't perfect. Business is not just like this or like this. It goes like this. And the things that you learn from it when they go wrong and when they go right supports, right? So it means that I can grow and I can evolve. But guess what? It also supports my clients too. So I will never show up and pretend that things are perfect because they're not. Right? Nobody has that perfection thing. But that's something that clients love about me, is my real, honest, authentic self. So who are you being in this so that you can magnetize your clients in? Now, the second one is leads. I don't care what type of business you're in. If you do not have people to sell to, you're not going to make sales. And they come in the form of leads. Now, your leads are going to come in many different forms. I'm just going to talk about it really quickly. You can look at one of my previous videos on this about leads and, the different types and how you call them in, etc. But there's cold leads, warm leads, and hot leads. Okay. 3 different types of leads. Most people will talk to the cold leads, some of the warm leads, but that's where the focus is going. So if sales is hard for you right now, if you're not converting the people that are currently in your audience, you're not speaking to the people that are ready to buy. And this is where it comes into your leads. You want to break down your leads and know which category people are fitting into. So this is why when we're talking about your dream client and magnetizing in your dream client, first of all, you need to know who your dream client is, like that yumminess, that delicious dream client that you have. What type of lead are they? They're going to be a hot lead, right? So describe them. Do the same with a warm lead. So a warm lead is somebody that's looking, but they're still a little bit indecisive. They're not fully committed yet to what it is that they want. Somebody who's cold, like, has just no desire. They've no desire. Either their stories, their excuses are just going to be way bigger than their motivation or their desire to actually do something about it. And that doesn't mean that they're not going to eventually get there, but it's just where they're at right now. So you want to know the different types of leads that are currently in your audience so that you can be a magnet to your dream clients. So it's not that you're ignoring or you're like disregarding the people that are not yet your dream clients, but when you speak to your dream client, it will move the others along too. So hear what I'm saying. Now, in terms of how do you actually bring in leads? There's so many different ways, right? You will have heard me saying this so many times before. There's no one strategy that works, but what does get to happen is you layering your strategies one on top of the other. Anyone out there that talks to you, do this on Instagram, do this on TikTok, do this on YouTube, do this on LinkedIn, do this on email. They're not just doing that. There is a layered strategy approach to this. So this is important, and I want you to hear this. Social media is amazing. I love social media, use it as a window into my soul, and it's not my main platform. It is not my main platform. Am I on them? Yes. Is it my main platform? Is it my main way to sell? No. I use it as a window in. Let people see me, get to know me, nurture them, love on them, have conversations. I love having conversations on social media. And I get to have a bit of fun, right? My creativity can come out. My main way of selling is actually through email. It's through email. So through email, I will bring people into my world, into conversations, different things like that. But how do you actually get them to that point where they're either on your email or on your social media? Because people will always tell you what to do with content or tell you what to do with copy, but how do you actually get people to that point? You may have been taught to do a freebie, like a lead magnet that may be something to download, a cheat sheet, checklist, meditation, video series, something like that, which is great. But how do you get people? How do you get them onto the freebie, right? That's always the problem, right? Drop it into the comments if this is you. That is always the problem that I see, is how do you actually get people onto that, onto your freebie, whatever it is? How do you actually get them there? And I'm going to tell you my favorite way that for me and for my clients has 100% effectiveness rate. So in case you missed that, I'm going to say it again. What I'm about to share with you has, for me and my clients, 100% effectiveness rate to get eyes, to bring people into your world. Okay? So really pay attention to this. When you collaborate with other people, watch what happens in your world. So there's a very strategic way to do collaborations, and that's what I teach inside my world, but I'm going to give you like a brief overview for it. And if you want to know more about it, obviously please connect with me and I will teach you how to do it. But the easiest way that I can describe it with you is that you want to connect with other industry experts that also support your dream client. And they don't need to support them in the same thing that you do, and they can. In my world, we don't operate with competition. I don't believe in that. I think it is very unhealthy. I think it drives hatred, it drives scarcity, and I don't think that it's necessary. So if that's what you like subscribe to, we're not going to get on, right? I just, it's not an energy I want to be in. I believe in generosity. I believe in, loving on each other and unconditional love and being, connected with people to be connected, not just to get from somebody. So when you're collaborating with another industry expert, make sure that energetically you're aligned, because if you're not, you'll feel it, right? It's the whole agenda piece. You're going to feel it. But when they support your dream client, this is where the magic happens. And in essence, what you're doing is you're coming together. So you and an expert are coming together to give value, to share, to support your dream client. But here's the fun thing. What happens with a collaboration? It's cross-pollination of audiences, right? So you're sharing about whatever you're doing, they're sharing about what you're doing. And then what happens? New people come to both you and them. How gorgeous is that? Isn't that the most loveliest way to be able to bring new people into your world? To me, that always feels like a lovely warm hug. It's not scarcity, not getting, not taking. It's like a real give, right? It's like leading with love, which is what I'm all about. But collaborations for me and for my clients, 100% effectiveness rate. Show me something else that gives you 100% effectiveness with bringing in high quality, high volume leads. That's organic. I bet you'd be hard pressed to do that. So that's the second one. And it's something that I live and breathe in. I have an event happening next week, which I'm going to talk to you about in a minute. And then there's more coming out throughout the rest of the year. And if you follow me at all, you will know that I walk my talk. So as in collaborations, I'm on them and do them constantly. You'd be hard pressed to find a month where there's not something that a collaboration's been done on, because I want to be able to give value to other people's audience and to my own. And I want to be able to bring people in to support my audiences too. So that's why they work so effectively. So for those of you that have that lovely, soft, heart-centered nature, which a lot of entrepreneurs do, this is a gorgeous way to be able to give value and not be salesy and make really nice sales from it too. Why do they work so well? Well, you're being pitched as the expert, but also people get to know you over a period of time, right? You're the person that they see on a regular basis. You're the person that they get to know. So why wouldn't they trust you? It's such a gorgeous way. I just love them. The last one then is being able to love on people, right? And what I mean by that is, go back to what I was saying about the leads. There's 3 different types, right? So there's your cold, your warm, and your hot. There are also different buyer types. So there's 4 different buyer types. You may or may not know this. And again, I've done this in previous videos too, but there's 4 different buyer types. The first one is like somebody's just there, like you put out an offer and they're like, yeah, that's me. That's my buyer type, right? If I'm in, I'm in. If I'm not, I'm not. And you won't convince me otherwise. And if you try to convince me, you will completely lose me. That's just, right? That's my buyer type. The second one is excitement. This is also fits into my buyer type because we tend to have 2. So there'll be 2 ways. One will lead it and then there'll be an undercurrent. So I love to get excited by things. I have this huge vision, right? You can see part of it behind me. I have this massive vision for my business, for my life, for my family, this huge, 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 huge vision. When somebody even speaks into that a little bit, like they touch on that, it lights me up from inside and I start paying attention. The other buyer type then is real detail. So the somebody who's quite logical, analytical, likes the details, likes to know the how, has a lot of questions. They take time. And then the last one is somebody that wants to feel seen, heard, and validated. So as in, they want to know that it's safe for them to make a decision. They want to know that nobody else is going to be put out while they make a decision. So think about the different types of leads and the different buyer types. And this doesn't need to scare you, right? I'm just giving you the actual breakdown of each one. And when it's in flow, it doesn't feel like this, right? But you want to love on them. So your ability to be able to nurture people really matters. So how do you do that? Well, you do it through your content and you do it through your copy. So content, social media, copy, email. And by you being in integrity and by you following through on what you say you're going to do. So for example, I go live, Elevate Your Coaching Business at 11 a.m. every Thursday. Even if I'm not physically here, there is one pre-recorded that goes out. Either way it happens, right? It happens whether I'm here or not. That builds up trust and integrity because you can rely on me to follow through what I say I'm going to do. So it's the same for you. When you're loving on somebody and you think about the different buyer types and the different types of leads that you have, right? You're nurturing them. So you're educating them. You're giving them a bit of the how. You're activating them. So you're activating their vision. You're activating the emotions. You're activating the feelings that they want. And you're showing your authority by doing it. And you're showing that people can trust you because you're following through on what you say. So if you've ever felt imposter syndrome, right? Or felt like, you may have, the word I use, because it used to come to me all the time in the corporate world, is like feel like a bit of a fraud because my thoughts and my behaviors didn't match and nor did my words. So I did really well in the corporate world and I never believed that it happened because of my worth and because of my value and because of what I was contributing. I believed it happened because of here's the list of stories why it happened. It was never me, it was always outside of me. That created that kind of fraud-like piece. So this will be the same for you too with your business. So when you're going to love on somebody else, are you showing up from a place of integrity? Are you being honest about how things are? And then love on people and meet them where they're at. Because they will hear that. These are ways that you become complete magnets. So that pull, right? That real pull into your dream clients and for them to come to you. You'll see it because your DMs will light up. You'll see it because people are booking calls. You'll see it because your numbers will go up when you're doing live launches. All of this happens. So juicy. I love it. So if this is resonating with you and you're like, yes, 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 and I need to hear this, I need to do this, and I want to know more, I have something for you. Next week, I'm running my infamous Client Magnet Bootcamp. This bootcamp has literally changed people's lives. People have signed their first clients, have booked in sales calls, have nailed their messaging, have made incredible connections and expanded on their business opportunities because of this bootcamp. I kid you not. This bootcamp is insane. And just to give you another idea as to what happens, right, in stuff like this, last month I ran a challenge, so a sales challenge, 30-day sales challenge, and over €50,000 was generated in sales. during that time period. That's pretty freaking cool. So imagine what's possible during this bootcamp. So it's on the 21st, 22nd, and 23rd of October. And it's not just me. I've brought along some of my really, really good friends to support with their zone of geniuses. So, like, it's a collaboration, right? With their zone of geniuses. So we're going to be talking about intuition. So how do you actually connect with your intuition so that you know decisions are right for you, that they're happening in the way that you want them to, that like the difference between fear and intuition, right? That comes up quite a lot. Then I have another friend who's coming in to do messaging. She is the queen of messaging. How simple she makes it and how she delivers it. Oh, golden. So if you're like, net messaging is something I want to nail down to be a magnet to clients, then this is it. And then I have another person coming in for connection. How do you actually make those connections? And what I mean by that is, how do you send DMs without feeling icky? How do you know what to say in DMs? How do you actually even get to a point where you can send DMs? And then another friend of mine is coming in to show you how you build wealth. So that, combined with the strategies that I'm going to teach you over the 3 days, have the ability to completely explode your business. The event is completely free. The link is here below. You just need to register, make sure that you're signed up, and we will be live on Monday from 6 to 7 p.m. It's on Zoom, so that you can ask questions and interact with us live, because it's the best way, right? It's the best way for you to get feedback, to ask questions, to get the support that you need, rather than it just being in a Facebook group. So make sure that you register, and I will see you all on Monday. Have a great day. Bye.